And the 24, and around goes the 77 of Jones, almost up over the wall as they hit hard. The 20 of Kenseth involved, as is the 1 of McMurray. A big wreck coming out of turn 2.
Inside, watch your inside. All right, we're rolling, guys. 4 flat.
You see them coming off turn 2, and Eric Jones' car gets loose, puts a little bit too much wheel back to the right, and basically head on into the wall, and then major impact behind, got him up in the air.
I think that was Daniel Suarez perhaps that made the first impact. It looked like the 19 car, that orange and white car.
But as we mentioned, the 20 involved, the 1 of Jamie McMurray, both involved in the playoffs, part of the round of 12.
When those turn back to the right, look at this at real speed. Look how big this impact is right here.
There you go, there's a
big
wreck.
roof, and there's a problem. Jimmy McMurray gets hit. Earnhardt gets into it. McMurray's going to get hit again.
We see that so many times in Talladega. Everybody trying to get on pit road at the same time, and they just make contact.
We're down 77.
Jamie McMurray with big contact.
You see the damage and the carnage to the 33. That's Jeffrey Earnhardt climbing out of that car, or attempting to.
Here's what happened.
Well, you can see, I think Kyle Busch was on the inside of Jamie McMurray. Did not know he was trying to pit. So here we go. We see Jamie McMurray trying to slow down.
He's in the second lane, way up on the racetrack, and the 77, I think, has no idea the 1 is pitting or just can't tell. And he hits him reasonably close to full speed, Jeff.
Also the 15, we see Mark Thompson got into that as well. Chris Buescher in the 37, also collected in this. But Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 33, massive contact there with the 1 of Jamie McMurray.
I just think that Jamie McMurray was trying to come to pit road, and he was outside the cars that were pitting. So look, he's above the double yellow line. Look at the cars that have already pulled down. Well, Jamie McMurray is a lane and a half on the racing surface. I don't think Kyle Busch has any intention to come to pit road, and Eric Jones, I don't think he has any intention as well. I mean, the damage on the 77 is unbelievable. I'm not sure even he can finish. So Jamie McMurray didn't mean to do it, but that's a bad place on the racetrack to try to commit to pit road. You have to get to your left, Rick, and blend out of traffic.
They're in contact, and Coughlin goes around. Big hit for Coughlin and Fontaine and others involved. And there's John Hunter Nemechek. Looks like he has escaped. But Coughlin did not. Myatt Snyder with some smoke has obviously been involved in it as well. The 29 of Briscoe. Man, look at the damage Fontaine had. Such a good run.
Now watch Bell. He gives Infinger a push. They're clear of this. But now here comes Gregson, 3 wide up the middle. And this has to be where problems started. Yeah.
Myatt Snyder looked like he got into the back end of the 13 and spun him.
Well, what happens is that bottom lane here through the tri-oval is much flatter than the rest of the lanes going up. And when you're in the middle, you're already in a bad spot because the back end of your truck starts to want to wiggle around. But what you saw there was Myatt Snyder was in the middle. And it looked like he came up the racetrack there, and as he went, he got loose right there, and then he just touched the back of the 13 in the right rear, and the 47 came down, and it all broke loose there.
You can see briefly up in the air was the 13 truck, and he settled right back down. The aerodynamic flaps you see on that bed, Vince, those flaps opening up, that's helping to evacuate the air from under the truck.
Stop, but there's contact. The 41 gets into him. He couldn't see. Also piling into them.
The 78's in it as well. The 78, 88 is backwards on the backstretch as well.
They were sideways as the 4 was sliding sideways. Now there's more contact made as the 78 and the 88 trying to get going the right direction.
Austin Dillon and Kevin Harvick were battling for position, and couldn't tell from that view if there was contact or not, but Kevin Harvick goes around.
And you see the smoke, as you mentioned, Rick, basically blinding on the backstretch. None of these cars can see as they come through.
So the 33 got in the back of the 78.
Wasn't a lot of damage to the right front of the 78, but then right here, so the 88 and the 78 are both going to try to get going in the same direction or get going in the correct direction. They both put it in reverse. Boom. Damage on both cars.
Oh, he drives the dive to the bottom, and Ben Rhodes was there. They make contact. And around goes Johnny Sauter. Track's blocked over in turn 4.
A lot of contact. So Creed got a little bit too sideways, couldn't quite control it. Ben Rhodes got involved in it, and then it just started collecting people.
And it didn't stop soon.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing about dirt racing is once they wreck like that and you're full steam ahead going into the corner, you just can't stop.
Creed tried to dive to the bottom, and Ben Rhodes had no idea that he was getting
He just
ready
didn't expect that he was coming. And then it just all piles in from here, and it's just who can get slowed down. And see Harrison Burton back into the 20 truck there. And
look at that. He just changed directions on Rhodes, and Ben was committed, couldn't do anything about it. Nice job by Ryan Truex getting around the top, and Justin Haley down around the bottom. See what Pierce sees in the 63 truck.
There's Benning coming in, about 8 of them in all total involved in that one.
Oh, there it is.
Hard into the wall. The 41 of Kurt Busch. He'll collect the rest of the field.
The 18's in it, the 48's in it.
The 88 is in it. Just on the front edge. He starts to roll now on the apron. The 32 of Matt DiBenedetto. The 4 of Harvick.
20 of Matt Kenseth.
And numerous cars parked in the grass. The crowd, you can hear in the background roaring because they saw the 88 get by. Even though he was sideways, he was able to continue on. The crowd appreciating that. Still an opportunity for Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Oh, just
Looks like the 78. Was that the 38 perhaps? David Reagan?
Yeah, I think it was a 38. It's like that 78 trying to make it 4 wide. That's the moves we see drivers make. Late in the race, you see right there the 78 trying to get on the outside.
And this is what we talked about all week. Why do the playoff drivers fear Talladega? Because of this. Every one of these drivers, the 18 of Kyle Busch, the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse-Schuster, the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, you see heavy contact there as well. 4 of Kevin Harvick. They have to be in the middle of this pack. They have to fight for the points. That's why those stages are so important. Think about the points that were gained by Keselowski, Blaney, even Johnson. He got 10 points over the stages. That's going to take a little of the sting away from this accident because this has eliminated all of these race cars.
And this is back-to-back weeks for the 18 of Kyle Busch to have a wrecked car.
Big hits.
Momentum, the key when you go through turn 3 because you have such a long straightaway as Kenseth sideways in front of the field. They're piling up behind him.
Well, Matt Kenseth got by with that, I believe. He never touched anything, but Eric Almirola with major damage on the front of his car.
37 also involved Chris Buescher, where he got his first career win. See damage to the 32 of Matt DiBenedetto.
As they go down into turn 3, see Matt Kenseth on the inside of Jimmy Johnson, and we keep seeing this over and over and over. We saw it last week at Indianapolis. The car on the outside of Matt Kenseth just pulls him around. No air on the car. This low downforce package makes these cars very difficult to drive with the car on the outside of him. So then all these guys behind it, you can see they just cannot get slowed down quick enough.
Yeah, it looked like somebody might have got into the back of Eric Almirola. It could have been Dale Jr. that maybe pushed him in there a little bit faster and not able to slow down.
Caution on the racetrack. The 14 of Clint Boyer involved. Also the 41 of Kurt Busch. Hard damage to the front of that car.
Got one coming outside.
He's up against the wall. It'll be difficult for him to climb out if he can't get that car away from the wall.
I don't see no fire or nothing, but get on out.
Let's take a look at what just happened.
See Clint Boyer across the corner, gets loose. Eric Jones is underneath him. Big impact. He's around the 14th position. Going back across the racetrack right in front.
Yeah, the 41 of Kurt Busch.
big impact.
There's a car in front of Clint that got loose, but then saved it. And that's what drew my attention away from Clint Boyer. But if you look right behind that car, that's where the 14 actually loses control.
Yeah, I believe it's Paul Menard that got loose. Wow.
He's up in the air goes the 42 of Kyle Larson. Caution comes out. And another contact. Kenseth hits. The one of Jamie McMurray flying down pit road. Kyle Larson up in the air, right in front of the grandstands.
Wow. How did he get back on the ground without flipping?
See right here, he gets down low. The 17 of Ricky Stenhouse tries to fill the upper lane. The 42 tries to block. And as you said, the 42 was destined to go airborne. The roof flaps deployed, setting the 42 back on the ground. And as that happened, the 41 of Kurt Busch crossed the tri-oval, took a hard hit. This is another great action shot right here. Watch this 42. Hits the wall, then gets pushed into the air by the 17. You see the roof flap open. The car sets back on the ground.
21 of Blaney, he's in the brakes, just nothing you can do.
We're riding along at over 190 with the 42.
Go outside. Hold it where you got it, hold where you got it.
Into the final turns. Martin Truex Jr. has never won on a short track. As he comes out of fourth, it's a drag race. They wreck behind him. Kyle Busch will win.
Yes, sir, checker.
Big wreck on the front stretch. A parking lot right in front of the grandstands.
Look, contact.
There's the blocking.
The 99 of Sargent, the 97 of Jesse Little, and the 16 of Ryan Truex.
What the hell just happened?
We don't know either.
And there is Truex making his way over to have some words with Little. Good to see that all the drivers are okay.
There were way too many trucks trying to get back on the racetrack and have about 50 feet wide to try to make that corner.
Great pictures from our Fox Sports team here. Look at that. 5 wide we see there.
And only like one of them on the racetrack.
And Truex is trying to make it 6 wide?
Look at Gilliland there. Just barely gets into the back of the 99 of Sargent. A little bit of damage to that pedigree truck.
Chase Briscoe got through there cleanly as well.
Look at this view.
Cutting off the dog leg there, thinking that's the quick way through, but when you get down off the track, especially that far down off the track, and then when you come back up, if there's no room there, as you said, Mike, I think that's a great description. It's just a funnel.
Yeah. At some point, you have to understand that there's not a lot of good that's going to come from your angle that you're going to have into turn 3. They were 5 wide, and it looked like Brian Truex was thinking about taking them 6 wide. You can see right there, that's 6 trucks in a line, and they have to get up on the racetrack.
It's unfortunate because all those guys were having good runs tonight. 16 Truex, 97 Jesse Little, and Dalton Sargent, 2 guys we don't see very often. Sargent's been since 2015 at this race, the last time he ran in the Truck Series, but was having a good run tonight, and Jesse Little was also.